Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today is the inaugural session where I'm going to be giving a masterclass to my subscribers on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. I thank you guys for subscribing. Now, some of this content is also going to go on YouTube. However, the part of the content where I give my crypto indexing advisory of which crypto to buy to make money is not going to go on YouTube. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, if you want to see that part, then you have to come on the X platform and then subscribe to me at Reno Omokri on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. Now, today we're going to talk about the wealth journey, how to go from one level to the next level. Because if you're watching me and if you consistently stay with me, I'm telling you today is going to be the least wealthy you're going to be. I'm going to give you practical steps, teach you, going to be a guide, a life coach to help you grow in wealth. And it's not something that I do not have experiential knowledge of. I have experiential knowledge of it, and that's why I won the Business Insider magazine award as the most influential influencer for business in Africa. So I defeated someone like Vusi Tembakwayo, and Vusi is someone that's quite renowned. I also defeated other people like Tony Elimelu. I got that award, and it's because of my crypto indexing, because it has a 95.6% accuracy, and it's helped a lot of people make money. It's helped a lot of people make money. I started my YouTube channel because I wanted to help people make money. I hate poverty. And I was giving out money, going around the world, giving out money. And during the pandemic, I gave out a lot of money, especially in my home country, Nigeria. But I was only building dependency. And so I started this channel to teach people how to make money, to teach them how to fish instead of giving them fish. Now, one of the things that you have to take care of on your world journey is your thinking, your mentality. It's so important because the vast majority of people in the world do not think. Most people are willing and are content to live with the results of other people's thinking. And that's not good enough because on the world journey, you have to understand that intention precedes manifestation. I'm going to say that one more time. Intention precedes manifestation. And you're not going to have intention if you're not thinking. So you've got to wake up every day, set out time to think. Don't look for time to think. You've got to beforehand schedule time to think. I think every day at 5:30 a.m. I wake up. My wife and my children are still sleeping, so it's very quiet, and I think. Now, the reason why you're going to be thinking is going to become clear later on, and I'm going to explain it in the course of this conversation. But you need to take out time to think. It's very, very important. You see, you have three stages in building wealth: thinking, and then networking, and then net worth. And they are all interconnected, as I'm going to explain very soon. They are all interconnected. If you don't think, you're going to live with this fallacy that the upper class has sold to the whole of the rest of the world that money is scarce. Money is not scarce at all. There is enough money in the world for everybody to be rich. But the thing is that when you keep on thinking that money is scarce, when you have that poverty mentality, it's going to manifest poverty in your life. So you need to change your thinking. And you have to find time to ideate. Think, you know, think in an unhurried manner. Think deeply, at least for 15 minutes, so that your mind can get to the bottom of itself and starts to generate ideas for you. Now, I'm going to give you an example. You see, I'm almost 50. I've been coming to the United Kingdom since 1986. I've been resident in the United States since 1983 at the age of 9. I have never seen a Rolls Royce advert. I don't know if you've seen one. I've never ever seen a Rolls Royce advert. Yet, this is the year 2023. And next year's Rolls Royce, the 2024 Rolls Royce, is already sold out. How are they able to achieve this feat? How are they able to achieve it? You see, because owning a Rolls Royce is itself an advert. It's an advert in itself. And then how do people come to own, how did they come to own Rolls Royces? You see, when you start to mix with people who own Rolls Royce, the likelihood that you're going to own a Rolls Royce is very, very high. And it's because of your thinking. Because your thinking is the first step in building network. How do you build network? You build network when your interests align with the interests of other people. And so if you're always thinking about shallow things like bedroom, BB Niger, pornography, how can your interests align with people who are thinking about the boardroom, profitability, and how to make money? So that's why you need to think so that you elevate your thought because you are not going to make that rapport, which leads to relationship if you're not thinking properly. Because those people, those classes of people, you know, the idea is that I give and you take. So you can't just take from them. If you are just a taker, you're not giving anything, they're not going to want to mix with you. They're not going to want to have a relationship with you. So you want to build rapport, and then you want that rapport to lead to a relationship. So it's very important. And the reason being is that first and foremost, when you start thinking, what you're going to find out is that people who cannot elevate themselves to your level of thinking will start to drop. And then you're going to start replacing them with people who are elevated already to that level of thinking that you are in already. So that's one of the first things that's going to happen. And to help that journey, you probably have to help your location a bit. I'll give you an example. In 2014, a couple of northern governors led by Ali Babangida, the governor of Niger State then, had gone to Washington, D.C. to badmouth the Jonathan administration. And so President Jonathan sent me to D.C. to try to counter what they had done. Now, as a presidential spokesman at that time, I was entitled to business class travel, but they couldn't find a business class ticket, and it was urgent and important for me to get to DC. So what happened is that they bought a first class ticket for me. And while on that journey, I listened to somebody, and that person was talking about earning statements for Google, the company now known as Alphabet. And I just listened and overheard heard them talking. At that point in time, I didn't even know what an earning statement was. But I listened to them and I walked up to them. And I think maybe because of my level as a presidential spokesman at that time, I was able to form a rapport with them. People would like to talk to you. And I asked, what's an earnings statement? And they explained to me, stocks usually have their most volatility just before an earnings statement. An earnings statement is a company is mandated by the US authorities to give an earnings statement every year. And so if you can buy your stock, if you know that the company is probably going to have a good earnings statement, it's a gamble, you're going to make a lot of money. I got out of that plane because of that conversation. I bought Google stock and I made a lot of money. So you see, that location and then my ability to interact with people who were at a level that I wasn't yet at helped me to get to that level. So if you're mixing with people at that level, you're going to build your network, and your network is going to lead to an increase of your network. And the same thing, I remember also, this was 3.5 years ago, I was flying from California to London, also first class British Airways, and I heard somebody talking about Bitcoin. And at that point in time, I didn't even know what Bitcoin was. I was a Bitcoin crypto illiterate, but I listened to the guy, and then I went and I started talking to him. I told him, you know what, I'm a number one best-selling author. People like that, they say, okay, they think, oh, he's a number one best-selling author. They will want to talk to you, and then you give something, and then he educated me on Bitcoin. I got out of that flight, I did some more research, I started investing in Bitcoin, and then gradually Ethereum, and then other cryptocurrencies, and I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars since then. So you see, my thinking affected my location, and my location affected my network, and my network affected my network. So one of the things that you probably need to start doing is this: even if you cannot afford to travel first class from maybe Lagos to London, or from Lagos to New York, or from California to London, or from California to probably Bangkok, what you can do, start from where you are. Start flying business class from Lagos to Abuja. Start flying business class from Lagos to Port Harcourt. The people that you're going to meet in that business class section of the plane, I'm telling you, they are going to be people that will have the ability to elevate your thinking, elevate your network, and then elevate your net worth. So it's not just that, try to join clubs like Ikoyi Club, Lagos Polo Club. If you are in California, there are some exclusive clubs that you can try to join. It's going to cost you money, yes, but at the end of the day, you're going to make that money back. You need to mix with the kinds of people that are going to elevate your network, and then they elevate your net worth from elevating your network, because that is the way, that is the fastest way to make wealth, by your association. That's why they say your association affects your remuneration, because you are the sum of the five people that you hang around with the most. But if the five people that you hang around with the most are people that are still talking about Big Brother Nigeria, still talking about big booty, still talking about bedrooms, still talking about pornography, I'm telling you, you are not going to click jump to the next level of wealth. These are secrets, I'm telling you, they do work. They do work. So just spend a little money. That's why I've told people before that even if you live in a ghetto, even if you live in a low rent district, if you live in a slum, you have to get out of that slum occasionally. Just get out of that slum, go to a high brow area, maybe join a church there, or a mosque there, or a library there, or just hang around in the lobby of a hotel in that place, and then gradually the kinds of people that you're going to be meeting with, is going to start helping you elevate your thoughts, and then your network, and then your net worth. So you see that your thinking pattern, your network, and your network, that is how people, and over, this is something that has happened over centuries. That's why scripture in Proverbs 27, verse 17 says that as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens his friend. So one person sharpens another person. That's how. If you think that you're going to make money on your own, just you solo, you're very smart, you're a genius. It's possible, but it's going to be very difficult, because that's why even in the wild, you see that the lions, they hunt together in a pride. And then if one lion is kicked out of that pride, it takes about 3 months to 6 months for that lion to die, because it's very difficult. There are some things that you as a lion will see, and there are some things that you cannot see. So another lion will see and then will protect you. That's why even in the wild, if you look, I went to the Serengeti in Tanzania, and then I saw zebras, and then the zebras, they were always together, and then they were always having what their, like you see, one will look this way, and then you have his neck on the other one looking the other way. So I thought it was a romantic gesture, and I told my tour guide, "Oh, this is so romantic." I says, "No, it's not romantic. It is a survival instinct. It's a survival tactic. Why they are staying like that is because one looks this way, and then the other looks that way. So if the lion is coming from here, this one will run, and then that is going to alert the other one. If the lion is coming from here, this one will run, and that's going to alert the other one." And that's the same thing with your network. Your network helps you. They help you to see opportunities. They help you to spot risk so that you can run. For instance, I'll give you a very good example. I knew when Bitcoin was going to crash long before other people knew about it, because of my friend who was, by the way, he's still a lord. He's a lord. He's a member of the British House of Lords. And he told me, "Listen, from our intelligence, we know that there is going to be a war in Ukraine. There's going to be a war in Ukraine. It cannot be avoided. So I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a war in Ukraine." So what's going to happen is that when the war comes, you're going to see that oil stocks and grain stocks and food prices are going to rise. So you want to invest in those things. But eventually, crypto and other financial instruments are going to drop because of the uncertainty. Now, because of that, my networking with my friend, I was able to make a lot of money. But if I didn't have that networking, I wouldn't have seen the opportunities, and I wouldn't have seen the threats coming. So that's why you need to think, elevate your own thinking, and then change your location so that you can meet with people, and then make sure that when you meet with people of high network, you are also giving them information. You are also helping the conversation. You're not just there to take. And then that's how you're going to build a relationship, because first of all, you're going to have a rapport. Rapport is not a relationship. Rapport is like the first time you meet, you start having a conversation, your interests align. That is rapport. But then rapport needs to lead to relationship, so that you can still communicate with each other next week, next year, 10 years from now. You can be exchanging WhatsApp messages. You have respect for each other. You're telling each other things. That is relationship. So it's very, very important. Now,